Hey Brittany, what's going on? Um, Today I'm going to be talking about abdominal emergencies, specifically a hernia. And the reason why I chose a hernia is because for the last, 5, 6 years almost maybe, my dad has had a hernia and has just refused to get the mesh surgery for it, where they insert the mesh to stop it, because he did his own research and decided that he didn't want to do it because it would probably not work anyway, he says. But I don't know, I've always thought that was interesting, so that's why I chose the hernia today. So the hernia is an abdominal emergency that can obviously be serious. Today I'll discuss what EMTs need to know about them, including signs, symptoms, and the causes, treatments, and things to consider while you're in the field. A hernia is when an organ or fatty tissue pushes through a weak spot or possibly a hole in the muscle or connective tissue. There are 4 different common types: inguinal, femoral, umbilical, and incisional. They might seem minor, but they can become life-threatening if they get strangulated. So, some signs and symptoms of hernias. Primary sign of a hernia is a visual bulge in your abdomen or groin, and it can get bigger with coughing or straining it or even standing up. And my dad's, over time, we've noticed that it's just gotten a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'll quote him here, but he said that it's just his organs spilling out. But I obviously wasn't in an EMT class then, so I didn't really know the specifics about it yet. Some other common symptoms of hernias would be pain or tenderness at the site of the bulge, and it can range from mild pain, which would be my dad's case most of the time, to severe pain, which sometimes he will complain about it bothering him really, really bad. Sorry about the yawn. It is pretty late at night. I'm up studying. If the hernia becomes stuck or strangulated, symptoms can worse, including it developing into a sharp pain. You can experience nausea or vomiting as well. Hernias tend to develop causes of hernias. Hernias tend to develop from increased abdominal pressure and a weakened abdominal wall. Risk factors can include all of age, your previous surgeries, obesity, heavy lifting, chronic coughing, or even congenital defects. Gosh, I cannot do language. My pronunciation is so bad. So back into the type of hernias, we have inguinal hernias, which are most common in men, umbilical hernias, which are common in newborns / pregnant women, and we have incisional hernias, which occur after abdominal surgery. Treatment options for hernias. Surgery is typically what you need to get to repair the hernia and close the defect in your abdominal wall. And the surgery is, they go in there, and where the hole is they will put a mesh type, it's just a mesh, and they'll insert that there, and it's supposed to stop the things in your abdomen from leaking out. And or in the case of my dad, you can just not get the surgery and just live with the hernia. Because I mean, he doesn't he doesn't really do any heavy lifting or anything like that anymore. So I guess can be treated by changing your lifestyle and lifestyle changes, but for the for sure fix, you're gonna want to go with the mesh surgery. Some special considerations for EMTs is we need to recognize the severity of the hernia. Some questions we could ask the patient is, can you push the bulge back? And if they have symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, or intense pain, and maybe ask them what their pain is on a scale of 1 to 10. And when we're palpating the abdomen of hernias, we need to be gentle and make sure to not try to reduce the hernia unless specifically trained for it, basically, which I don't think we get specifically trained on how to reduce hernias by hand. So don't try to reduce the hernia. And if the hernia is strangulated, we need to transport the patient immediately. We also need to make sure we are monitoring our vital signs closely, providing oxygen if needed, and if the patient goes into shock because of it, we need to establish an IV line. And let's see, closing thoughts. I mean, they can seem like a minor issue, but they can turn into a life-threatening emergency if it, develops further. Thankfully, my dad's hasn't, and he's just, lived with one for the past, I don't even know how many years. But yeah, and as EMTs, we need to have timely intervention and rapid transport, which are essential if the hernia develops into a bad one, to obviously help the patient out and potentially, maybe get rid of the hernia if we get to the hospital and they decide to do the mesh, unlike my dad. But thank you for your time. Sorry this video's not going to be too flashy, or I don't have a whiteboard in my house or anything to show you diagrams. I'm also making this pretty late, pretty early in the morning, I guess I should say, because I'm up studying for my exam tomorrow, or today now. So I hope you have a good day whenever you're watching this, or if it's a night, and I'm out of here.